If you're finished early, try taking your commercial art image and turning it into an advertisement. So try and advertise for whatever company your object is from. You can even make up a company if you're not sure, or you could stick with what already exists. I would start out if you decide to do this with your text. So I'm going to grab the text tool here. And remember, if you go to dafont.com, so D-A and then font.com, you can download a couple of different creative fonts and maybe even find a font that is similar to the company that you're advertising for. But again, I'm going to start out and just type the name of the company. So I have Skechers here for the shoe brand. And from there, I would just work on a couple of different edits with your text. So first of all, think about the color. You can choose a color that already exists on your image. So maybe I'll choose one of these kind of light gray colors and hit OK. So that can change the color. Definitely play around with your font. So see if you can find one again that might be similar to that specific brand or look interesting with your photo. If you want your text to be a little bit bigger than 72, you can double click and type in a number and hit enter and just move your text around from there. So I'm going to place this here. If you hit Command T, you can stretch out your text, maybe shrink it a little bit and play around with that. So maybe you want it to fill the page a little bit more here. And I'm going to hit the check button and place it up here. If you, in your layers panel, double click on that layer, you can go to a couple of different effects within your text here. So maybe I'll add a drop shadow and you can see that added that faint shadow there. Maybe a texture, so you can choose a texture to add. And maybe this texture here fits well with the texture on the shoes, so try and relate whatever you decide to add as texture to your actual image, and that helps. But play around with some of these different edits, see if there's anything that works well for your image that really creates an interesting effect. So that's the first thing, is just playing around and adjusting the effects with your text. Usually companies that you're advertising for have some sort of logo. So you can try to incorporate this logo in an interesting way, or again, create your own logo that fits with what you're advertising. So Skechers here is world famous is their logo, and I'm going to change the size of my font and type that in. And again, that font should be bigger, so I'm going to maybe try 70. And I might need to change this so it fits. Then I'm going to hit the check button. And then I'm going to hit Command T to transform and change the size here. So maybe I want it to stretch out a bit. When you are creating the font for your logo that goes along with the title, I would try to use maybe a simpler font. So one that maybe is like Arial or something that is commonly seen. I'm going to adjust the font here again. So that looks good. Again, that's going to help to simplify things, so just trying to get that font to maybe be a little bit more simple for the logo. You can play around with the placement. Maybe I want it kind of towards the bottom here or off to the side. So think about that placement. The next thing you can try is maybe creating some sort of border around your image, and I'm going to do that through crop. So I'm going to crop the outside of my canvas here, make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to try to make that even on all sides of my photo. And then hit enter when you're done cropping. And you can add a new layer and drag that to the very bottom. And if you grab your paintbrush tool, which should be hidden under the gradient, you can fill that with color. So I'm just going to make this black here. So that kind of ties things together, makes it look more complete as an advertisement. So be creative with that. Think about how you're going to incorporate the logo along with the actual name of your company.